Ladies and gentlemen, the first man to build 21-inch biceps, drug-free.
My friends, I wish I could really answer, all of the emails and the questions you guys want. It just, I'm really frustrated that I cannot, I just don't have the time to answer the questions. And the reason I like you guys with the emails, because you're so sincere, you explain. I have a problem with with my YouTube, because I get too many nutcases, guys that just want to spew hate and all that. So I'm not as into it as I am to my emails. And I just see these emails, I got to answer some. It's so many guys, you young fellows. I mean, you young fellas think yesterday's old. But this is I grew up from the beginning when it was laughed at, till it became accepted, until now it's freaky. But they want to know about Serge Nubret. And let me tell you something about Serge Nubret. I think he's a beautiful human being. I like him so. We had long conversations together. He was such a warm, giving, just a nice human being. I was so happy to be with him when I was with him. And one of you guys sent me an email, and you said Serge ate 3 pounds of meat a day. I think he may have eaten more than that. He was very much into meat. But the kind of meat he was into, because he's from France, really, initially. From France. He's from France. Horse meat. That's politically incorrect. You better not stick a serving a piece of horse meat in the United States. They slaughtered the horses and shipped it to Europe, because, we have this emotional attachment to horse meat here. But Serge was into horse meat. And he thought it was the best protein in the world, very low in fat, extremely high in protein per volume, and he loved it. So the meat he loved to eat was not steak and stuff all loaded with hormones and stuff, because they don't feed horses all those hormones and shit like they do the meat they have here. But of course, that's a few years ago. But a lot of you young fellas never heard of Serge Nubret. But Serge was, and the way Serge trained was that, see, a lot of things you may hear, what you read or so forth, I knew him personally, you see. And he did take steroids. And, but it wasn't that you're supposed to deny it then, But he did take steroids. But my friends, they were nowhere near the potency of the steroids today. Nowhere near. I mean, it's like drinking a beer and taking vodka or hard liquor. The difference between the steroids of Serge's day and to the steroids of today. Now, I think in my website I have LeroyCobra.com. I think I haven't looked at my website in a while. I think I have some pictures of Serge and I, when Serge was measuring my own and I was measuring his. But mainly, he was measuring, I think I was measuring his arm. I didn't even look at, I'm talking to you about the website, but I haven't looked at it in a while. It's a big website, LeroyCobra.com. And I'll tell you, when you see that website, you won't have to ask many more questions about Leroy, because everything, my life from the beginning, from I was almost 10 years old up until the day, is on that website. All broken down in sections, so it wouldn't be confusing to you. You can click on my family, my training, and etc. But Serge, I just wanted to say, and I felt guilty, really. I said to mention Serge. I mean, he was so open, so, when you find good people, and I was very sad when he died. I mean, of course, I didn't see Serge every week. I must have seen Serge in my entire lifetime, maybe 6 times. But the point is, when we saw each other, we took such advantage of the time we had together. And when his training was intense, but not like you find these guys today. And he didn't believe in the split routine. He didn't believe in it. But he believed in training the muscles hard. And we talked about training to, not actually train to fail. Yes, and so we talked about training to exhaustion. He didn't believe in that either. But, you know, it's very hard for me to remember details because we were talking about so many things, about diet, about training. But I was fascinated the most, my friends, by his eating of horse meat. I mean, and it's unheard of here. Horse meat. And he thinks that was the greatest protein you can think of. It's horse meat. But in Europe, you know, they eat horse meat just like we eat chicken here. But in any case, my friends, all I can say to you about Serge, he was a real asset. He's a icon. He doesn't get the promotion he should have gotten because he didn't hook up with Joe. Not that Joe had anything against him, because he came from another country and he didn't build a relationship with Joe to be publicized like some of these guys that couldn't carry his bags. But I think the man, I think so highly of him. And when I get these emails, and I got about 4 or 5 of them on him, I started getting nostalgic about it. You know, that's the problem of going back so far as I have. You know, I've gone back so far. And it's just to look and bring it back with joy and excitement for the kind of guys that's in this game. I don't feel the same about today. I must tell you that. But in any case, my friends, I'm here for you to be continued.
Wait a minute. Before you click away, I want you to subscribe, like, comment, hell, even dislike if you want to. At least do something before you get out of here.